Welcome to Cloak Cathedral with Essie Audrey, where we receive answers, clarity, and wisdom that guides us in remembering who we are, where we're going, and why we're here. So the reason why I wanted to make this specific meditation is that we're in a time right now with very tumultuous world events that have been occurring for some time. So I've talked about when I knew, like 6 or 7 months before the Capitol was stormed, I was seeing all of these things that were coming to Washington, D.C., and they looked very scary and very harrowing. And so I went into meditation and I asked questions like, what is happening? What's going to happen to Washington, D.C.? What am I seeing? What's coming? And I just saw this huge sea of red, like an ocean taking over. And it scared me at the time. I think this was like in 2019. I got scared because I was like, oh my God. I remember thinking like, is this China? Is this from China? Is this bloodshed? What does the red represent? So I got more specific. I asked my spirit guides, what does this color or the sea of red represent? And they immediately showed me a 1940s, like a vintage pickup truck that had an American flag bumper sticker on the back window. So immediately I was like, oh, okay, this is more conservative people. That made me feel better at the time because I was like, okay, that's like a little bit less scary than like China attacking Washington, D.C. But of course I was like, okay, it's still not good. And so I started just getting more specific. Will certain people pass away? And they were like, yes. And I said, will this be in history books? And they were like, yes. And so I was like, oh no, I was like frightened by those answers. So I said, will my family still go to work the next day? Or will my husband still go to work the next day? And they're like, oh yeah. And I was like, okay, will this affect our family personally? And they were like, no. And I was like, will it affect most people personally at home? And they were like, no. And so I was like, oh, okay. And then after that, I was able to ask more follow-up questions. I was able to do this during everything else that happened in 2020. Before it was happening, I've even done this recently where I'm going to talk in code right now. With what was happening a couple months ago, it is currently April 2026. And a couple months ago, in one of the Great Lakes states where the artist Prince is from, there was a lot of not good things happening there. I immediately went into meditation and asked my spirit guides, I said, hey, is this going to be coming to where I live? And they're like, it's going to pass through, almost drive through, but not stop. And that's exactly what happened. Nothing happened here, like at all. It passed through to the next city. I want you to be able to use a connection to your higher self to be able to navigate these changes. So you want to make sure that you only do this meditation when you are feeling deeply at peace. Even if it seems like things are raging around you, you want to wait until you feel neutral, peaceful, calm. That's when you want to do it to get accurate information. So I want to make sure you're doing it in that space before we begin. But also, I want to start off with saying that you are absolutely loved and absolutely protected. And in the most literal sense, you have guides or guardian angels that are standing by your side, that are protecting you, and that are sending you love. And if you can't feel it all the time, that's okay. They're still there. They're just in a higher frequency, and that's okay. We're on Earth and we're dealing with so much here. So you are absolutely loved and you're absolutely protected, and you are so safe right now. And it is safe to ask these questions. I want you to get into a comfortable space. You can close your eyes and take 4 deep breaths. I want you to take those deep breaths from your diaphragm and then hold them for a second or two and release. When you're finished, I want you to imagine a cord. I usually imagine a white pearl iridescent cord coming out of my heart, going through my throat, going through my third eye, and then coming out of my crown, the top of my head, and connecting upwards towards heaven, towards God, towards my higher self. Go ahead and imagine that cord reaching upward. I want you to follow that cord up towards heaven, towards your highest self. I want you to imagine the peak of that cord. And when you get to the peak, to the top, where all that surrounds you is truth and unconditional love, I want you to say, I activate my God eyes. I activate my God eyes. Allow me to see only what is true. Show me only what is true. And when you're ready, I want you to relax your shoulders. And I want you to imagine the question that you have for your higher self and for God. Tell your mind to go on the back burner, and I want you to interpret that question through feelings and sensations you're getting in your body and through your heart space. It might come through your ears with clairaudience through a song. It might come through a feeling. It might come through words or pictures or all of them. But I want you to be open because you're totally safe. You're safe right now and you're going to be safe in the future. You are protected and safe. So whatever answer comes through, if it comes through in peace and love, it's the answer for you. So go ahead, ask your question, let it go up through your cord and come down through the senses in your body. When you're done, I want you to go ahead and ask as many follow-up questions as are needed. Be as specific as possible and let your mind relax with the knowing that you're already safe and protected. You're just getting information from a being that loves you so much more than you've ever been loved before. And allow yourself to ask those questions. And I'm going to leave you here. And when you're done, I want you to take the time to write those out in your notebook or on your Google Doc so you can come back to it later.